of Battle.
Okay, in this tutorial we're going to be having a look at how to use the map editor and how to share the maps and use them in the game. So we'll start off by going down in the main menu and clicking editor, and this is the blank setup that we're given. So we move around with our WASD keys and arrow keys just like the normal game, and we start off, we'll just go step by step. So we hit options in that tab and we can resize the map with these sliders here, the height and width. We can change our default texture and all our other textures here. So by clicking these side to side arrows, we can choose to make a sandy background like a desert. We can change the road texture, so clicking across to find maybe this cracky sort of ground look. And we can also change the opacity and the brightness and darkness of a texture. And then finally we can change this area here, which is just textures you can add to the map. Now I'll zoom out for a second with these little buttons up here. They're the zoom in and out controls. And we'll start off by placing our fortress. So we go down here and we're in the flag tab at the moment. See those tabs on the bottom left, we're in the flag one, and we click on the fortress facing the direction we want. We make sure the team's the right team and all those arrows are ticked. Okay, so this tab, this little like I said, the flag tab is where you place all things to do with what you need to get the game playing. Things like starting positions and fortresses. Now we change the team when we place our next fortress by clicking on that colour, and each colour represents a different team. So we can place another fortress and choose yellow, which represents team 3, and then the final fortress we'll place and we'll choose the last colour, which is green, for team 4. So at the moment this map has 4 fortresses for a 4-player game. And now we place our starting positions, which are these bits here. Okay, so just make sure they're facing in the right direction. And all we do is click them and place them. Okay, and one for each team. And making sure that they're in the right area, so yellow with yellow and green with green, that sort of thing. Okay, so with the starting positions and fortresses put down, we'll go to our next thing, which can be gold mines. So we'll place some gold mines for our teams to pick. It's usually good to have a gold mine near each base, or, so there's a bit of fairness between the teams, so they all have an opportunity to increase their gold. Now what we can do is we can place a gold mine in the middle and make it so that it's only usable in a certain gameplay type. So for instance, Gold Rush, we can untick all of these ticks when we place it except for Gold Rush. So that way when we put that in, see it's quite transparent there, it'll only be in the game when you play this map on a Gold Rush game. Okay, so that's pretty good. That means that you can have more gold mines in Gold Rush games, so that it's something they can sort of fight over. Okay, so now we'll place the orbs, and these are the assault orbs. Now the map editor is automatically set by default to assault for assault items. Okay, and we can change that later. I'll show you how to do that. But for now, let's place an assault orb for each team. Okay, so at the moment, the game is set up to work for a few different game types. Okay, so I'll check out that after I place some of these, which are our team banners. There's no real point to these other than to kind of display the insignias you unlock, and just to kind of, say that it's your team. So I'll put a bunch of these down. And the green one. Okay. Now to check what your map is compatible to play, we hit File, that left tab, and it shows arrow ticks on the game maps or the game types that your map will work on. Okay, so at the moment it'll work on 2 to 4 player in Assault, Brotherhood, Battle and Gold Rush. Okay, so at the moment let's just make our map look a bit better, add some props and roads. To add a road, we hit that road tab that I just hit and click New Road, and this green dot will appear. Okay, so you can click on it and drag it around, and to make it a road, it's called a node, by the way, that green dot. Shift, click and drag, then let go. Okay, so you shift, hold the shift key, click on a green dot, drag to where you want it to go, and then let go. Okay, and basically that just creates a node connection point, and then you can place nodes on top of each other if you click with shift and then just let go when you're on top of the other node. It'll connect them. Okay, so remember, all you have to do to move them around is just click and drag them. The pink ones change the curvature of the road. Okay, so we can make our roads more windy and natural looking. And to see what it looks like, hit refresh, which is the tab on the very right, and that will reload what it looks like. Now we can change the thickness of the road with that slider there. Okay, and just so you know that you can move the node, but the road won't refresh. The texture will stay the same, so you have to hit refresh each time. And the reason for that is to avoid too much lagging and crashing. If it just is constantly refreshing, it's a bit too much for it to handle. So there we have a road put down. We'll click the nature tab, and here we have a whole bunch of trees and rocks and dead trees and all that stuff that you can place. And all you have to do is click on the object you want to place and dot it around the map where you want it to fit. It's really simple. There's different size trees, and you just make it look how you want it to look. This is just a muck around map, by the way, just for the sake of the tutorial, so it's nothing really fancy, and it won't be in the final game. Okay, but this is just showing how to do it. Okay, so next we'll place some props. We'll hit that props tab, we'll place some light, and we'll just use this as a divider. Again, this is just a silly map. There's no real point to this other than to divide the teams. Okay, and we're sort of using it as a fence. By the way, game updates will come about now and then, only in the full version of the game, which you'll be able to find on brotherhoodofbattle.com or xgenstudios.com. Okay, so with those we might put in some fences or different props and houses that you can lay in the map editor and play with the game. Okay, so putting these lamps in, and yes, it's a weird looking map, I know. Okay, now let's place an outhouse somewhere for your Brotherhood to take a poo. And okay, so now we hit the house tab, and there are a whole bunch of different houses you can use, but we'll just put a little shack in. Some of them are a bit more formal looking houses and stuff. Now back down to this flag tab. We want to place some items that are playable in other game types. So if we hit up here, this drop down tab, it's set to assault. We can click down to capture the flag, and now all of a sudden our orbs we place disappear, and we can place flags in place of them or wherever you want to put them. And basically that's to allow an additional game type. And so it actually hasn't erased the orbs. They're still very transparent and in the same place they were, so they're not erased. Okay, so now same tab, and we'll click capture and hold, and it's a bit busy looking there, it's a bit too covered, so I'll open the props tab and erase some of them. And to erase, by the way, you hold control and the erase icon will appear, and everything you click on will be erased. We'll just place a couple of lamps. Okay, so that's the basic way to set up, and now we can see that the map is compatible in all game types and player amounts, sorry. Okay, and so for the sake of it, we'll just test 3-player capture the flag. And so it throws us into the map, and it works exactly as a normal game does. The only difference is you have that little tab up there. We can go back to the editor or change what team you're in, so you can just see if the map is pretty even and fair and if it works well. Finally, we have this tab here, this little box where you click and drag out onto the map, and its textures works the same as roads, where you click and drag and refresh. Okay, so finally we'll hit file, and we'll name our map, and we'll call it light_4th_map. Underscores show us spaces when they're in the game, by the way. Click save to cookies. Now, what we can do to test the map, to save it and play it, we can save it to text and email it to friends and then load it in there, or we can save it to cookies like we just did. And now to test it out, because we've saved it to cookies, we can load the lobby up, entering the lobby. Now if we go to the game browser and create a game, so let's just hit create game, and we'll go 2 versus 2 and call it whatever you want. And now you'll see under any of these game types, our map will be in the maps tab right down the bottom. See the one with the little star? It says light_4th_map. So that means if it's a public game, then anyone in the game browser can see your map with the star next to it and try it out, or you can invite friends. So that's basically the gist of how to make maps and save them and share them. And I hope it's been of help to you, and I hope you enjoy playing.